I started working here in '85, September of '85, as a lecturer. I worked in industry. In fact, I came from Scunthorpe, you've probably heard of it. But basically, I'm very supportive of colleges like West Suffolk College. And the reason is that I didn't perform very well at school. I failed the 11 plus, went to a secondary modern instead of a grammar school, left with very, very few GCEs. But because I lived in a steel town, I was able to get an apprenticeship in the steelworks as a structural steelwork draftsman. The steelworks got into difficulties again, and I was made redundant. And I did a few design jobs around the place, but then this chance at the local college, the one I'd been a student at, I got the chance to lecture in maths, mechanical science, that sort of thing. And I found, to my amazement, that I absolutely loved that job. It was a fantastic job. I did 2 years of that, and then the money ran to an end from the local authority. So I was casting around for another job. Saw this job advertised in Bury as a lecturer in engineering. That was 40 years ago. You talked about the enjoyment of the job. Well, this was just as good, if not better, than where I was before. The highlights for me has always been about the students achieving. Yeah, I taught the sort of subjects that everybody was a bit cautious about. To get them to feel comfortable in the maths or mechanical science classroom was very rewarding for me, and to see them gain confidence in those subjects throughout the academic year and then successfully complete the year, those were my standout moments. Other things that were good for me were at the end of the course we had the awards ceremonies, and to see those students get up there and receive the certificates and whatever, that was a big plus. They were held where Wetherspoons is now. You see some of the old lecturers, some of the ones from engineering, some have died now, of course. I used to be, when I was retired, I used to be a volunteer at ICLIF until the pandemic. And now they've got an alumni organisation, and so we go back for coffee and cake and a bit of chat and trips and things. And everybody seems to think back on the West Suffolk College with affection. So I don't think the college has done much wrong there, really, to be honest. If it hadn't been for Mike, I think I would have got lost. And also the security. There are some bits that I more or less as I remember them. One of them being the motor vehicle and the machine shop, more or less, and the office I used to have down there. But a lot of the area up from here has been repurposed or added to in a very substantial way. It must have cost a fortune. I don't know what we spent over the years. So it was very, very interesting to see it. I drive past it quite often and think, my goodness me, that looks quite different now. But it really is. As far as the motor vehicle area is concerned, in the old days it was more traditional type of motor vehicle teaching, if you like. But now, being involved in the racing and the damage repairs and all that sort of stuff, it's really hands-on stuff. Much better than totally theoretical. That was what I liked about the courses I used to do. With the full-timers, we used to take them on a field trip, an engineering field trip to Bradford way on, This thing lasted about a week. We used to hire a couple of minibuses and drive them down, then another lecture. And then we got out to engineering companies. We got up to coal mines, we got to steel works, we got to light engineering. But it was the first real contact these kids had had with engineering. Yeah. So we did that with the national diploma. And in the early 90s, we also started an exchange program with a company in southwest Germany. And 1 year they'd come over to us, and the next year we'd go over to them.
Nice.
And it was the same sort of thing, we'd be introduced to German engineering, foundries and all sorts of things, and then they'd come over here the following year, and we'd do the same again. And so that was a great experience for the students. So those trips were very valuable, I think, wonderful. If I was younger, I'd be asking for a job. As I say, it was the best job I ever did. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Enjoyed the students and enjoyed the colleagues. And I only gave up because I was getting old. That's all. I'm staggered. I have to admit, I didn't realise it was when I was here that it was that well established. But all credit to it. 100 years is an amazing thing. And if I see, I'll come to the 200 one. So keep going, keep doing the good work. That's what I would say. Do it for a start. Stick at it. Work hard. It's worth it in the end. Trust me, because I went through it myself, and it worked for me, and it'll work for them.